Acharya, Sri Srimad, His Divine Grace, ISKCON Founder Acharya, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Brinda Ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki, Premsa Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakti Vrindam, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gokopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan Ki, Shri Braja Bhumi Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki, Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki, Ganga Yamuna Mayi Ki, Bhakti Devi Ki, Tulsi Maharani Ki, ISKCON BBT Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki, Nitai Gaur Pimanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna to one and all. A very warm welcome to today's Ram Naumi program and a very big thank you for attending today's program. It is my honor and pleasure in introducing our speaker for today, His Holiness Indradyumna Swami. Maharaj is a direct disciple of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Indradyumna Swami travels around the world spreading Krishna consciousness through lectures and large-scale kirtan and festival events. He shares his experiences and realizations as a traveling monk through his ongoing diary series, The Diary of a Traveling Monk. He has long-standing video lecture series, extensive photography stemming from his preaching tours and travels to sacred places like India and other books written by him or based on his lectures. Maharaj has made a significant contribution to South African yatras, more especially starting the Rath Yatra festival in South Africa. I am sure all of us here have attended the Rath Yatra 2024 and you'll have seen the vast public appearances that came in. We've had people come in from all different walks of life. So it is such an honor to know that the International Society for Krishna Consciousness can host such programs. We also have in our presence today His Holiness Ram Govind Swami Maharaj. A huge round of applause to him. So I just have two announcements. There'll be we'll have a pause on the fruit offerings until Maharaj's class is over and the Aarti ceremony is done. So if we just pause on the fruit offerings, and all cell phones to be please switched off or turned to silent mode. So I now hand you over to His Holiness Indradyumna Swami. Shri Ram Naumi Maha Utsava Ki Jai.
Jai Sri Ram. Oma Gyantimanandasya Ganangana Shalakaya Chaksunamilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Shtapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadanti Sva Padantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakti Vrindam Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. I thank all of you for coming midweek. Generally we come to the temple, isn't it, on the weekends, midweek, and maybe you've left work, you've left school, I don't know, I hope you don't get in trouble, but more important is to get the blessings of Lord Ram. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the pioneer of Krishna consciousness in this age, recent history, in one of his poems, he writes that holy days like Ekadasi and Janmashtami are the mothers of devotion for devotees who properly respect them. Actually, Lord Ram's appearance day is all auspicious. Anyone on this planet now is somehow or other perhaps even only in a minute way, being blessed by this day, if only because our International Society for Krishna Consciousness has temples in most major cities of the world and other cities, towns, and villages away, around. So there'll be kirtan today. Raghupati Raghava Rajaram Patita Pavan Sita Ram. That will go into the ether. And somehow or other people will be benefited. But as devotees, we want to take full advantage of this day. Bhaktivinoda Thakur puts it very nicely. Holy days like Ekadasi and Janmashtami are mothers of devotion for devotees who properly respect. So how do you properly respect the appearance day of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in His infinite incarnations on this planet, or His representatives? How do we observe these days? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Shmaranam. Primarily by hearing and chanting the glories of that divine personality. How is that? Because by chanting and hearing the glories of the Lord, or His pure devotee, we have direct contact with Him. How is that? That's described by Kaviraj Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Kali Kali Namrup Krishna Avatar. This is Bengali. Kali Kali Namrup Krishna Avatar. Avatar means one who descends from the spiritual sky. Someone who Nitya Siddha, some eternally liberated soul, or generally we think of Krishna or his incarnations. That's an avatar. And we know in our Vedic culture, the Das avatars, I think every Hindu knows there's 10 incarnations of the divine, of the Godhead, coming from Avatari, Krishna. He's the source of all avatars. But Kali Kali Namrup, Krishna Avatar, in the age of Kali, an incarnation of Godhead is in the form of sound. It's an interesting incarnation. We know Krishna came as Matsya, a fish, Kurma, a turtle, Vamana, a dwarf, half man, half lion, Narasimhadev, the boar incarnation, Varahadev. But here's a very interesting incarnation. God comes in the form of sound, a material element, sound. But it's not a material element, because as Narottam Das Thakur says, Golok Prem Dan Harinam Sankirtan. This movement and all that it entails, mainly the chanting Hare Krishna, where does it come from? Golok Prem Dan. It's come from the spiritual world. So when we speak the glories of the Lord, or if we hear the glories of the Lord, both the speaker and the audience are benefited because we're having direct contact with Krishna. Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. In Sanskrit, Vigraha means form. So we're associating with Krishna in the form of His holy name, which is non-different than Him. Prabhupada gave a cute little analogy. He said, when you're chanting Hare Krishna, the Lord is dancing on the tip of your tongue. I said that one time at a Sunday feast to the newcomers. When you're chanting Hare Krishna, God is dancing on the tip of your tongue. And there was one boy in the audience, he had a mirror, a little mirror in his pocket, and he pulled it out. Stuck out his tongue, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. He said, Swamiji, I can't see. I said, but you need the eyes to see. And then you can see Krishna. So today is the appearance day of Lord Ram. And all of you are the most fortunate people in Durban, you Durbanites. You're the most fortunate because you're spending your valuable time. Everyone has responsibilities, family, work, country, world. We have responsibilities, but you're putting them aside for a couple of hours to come here and honor your Supreme Father, the Lord, who appears in various incarnations for various purposes. So surely you'll leave this house of God a different person. This is real religion. Religion that doesn't mean to come to the temple, to the mosque, to the synagogue, to the monastery, just to have a peek, meet your friends, play bingo, play cards. They do that some places. Or just to socialize. How you keeping, man? Like you say here. How you keeping, man? No. We come here, it's a serious business. We come here for purification. Because we've been in this material world since time immemorial. And therefore, having come in contact with the material energy for such a long time, we're carrying a lot of baggage. Just like in Vedic culture, people bathe 3 times a day. In the morning, noon, and in evening, because being in contact with this world, especially now, it's such a contaminated place, the water, the air, the earth. We need to bathe regularly to keep clean, because if you don't keep clean, you get diseased. But there's the subtle body as well. There's the gross body, and there's the subtle body, which is the mind, the intelligence, and the false ego. And that subtle body is also in contact with the material energy and has to be cleansed. So how is it cleansed? Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Shmaranam. Hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord. Otherwise the subtle body will also get diseased. The mind will become agitated by so many things in this world. The intelligence will become perverted. The soul will become covered. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, like a mirror is covered by dust, fire is covered by smoke, or the womb, the baby is covered by the womb. The soul can also be covered. So all that cheto dharpa marjanam, it can be cleansed by shravanam, kirtanam, Vishnu Shmaranam. So you're doing the best thing. You're coming here today. This is the best use of your time. Even if you get in trouble. You're supposed to be in school. Some little ones here. It's Wednesday. My little best friend. Or you've cut out from work some white lie. I'm not feeling good today. I'll stay home and rest. Okay, thank you. And whoom! Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sita Ram. But actually throughout the world today, devotees of the Lord are celebrating the appearance of Lord Ram. Actually, he appeared on this earth millions of years ago. And his glorious deeds are still being celebrated. You could say they're enshrined, it's a good word, enshrined in the epic Ramayana, which is as popular today as it was millions of years ago. Generally, when some prominent person in society passes away, a politician, entertainer, an athlete, there's a period of mourning and grief, and people go on, but after some time, their glories fade in time. Most people. Like there's many famous personalities in my generation, and sometimes I mention them in my classes because I can relate. They were musicians like Bob Marley, Bob Dylan. But people are like, who's Bob Marley? Who are the Beatles? One boy said to me the other day. You used to listen to the Beatles? You mean chirping? Cheep, cheep, cheep. I said, no, it was a band, a rock band. So it's something you notice in old age. People don't remember that generation that you're born into. But Lord Ram, in Bharat, I prefer the word Bharat. Like Narendra Modi, he likes to say Bharat, not India. Bharat's the original name of India. Bharat. Today, not a few people are cutting away from work or school, but millions and millions of people because Rama is still famous. He's famous because his glories were written down by Valmiki, one great sage. We're so much indebted to Valmiki today, aren't we? He wrote down Ramayana. So we can still Shravanam, Kirtanam, Ram Shmaranam. We can still remember as if he was present with us today. So people are reading Ramayana. So I thought it would be appropriate today to discuss, some of the pastimes therein. It's difficult to choose. I was up all night with this. Should I talk about that? Should I talk about this? I don't want to miss that. They only gave me 45 minutes. Ramayana consists of 24,000 verses in 6 cantos, comprising 500 chapters. Did you know that? So let us dip into the ocean of nectar by tasting a few drops. It's said that by tasting one drop of the ocean, you can understand and appreciate what the whole ocean is like. Like a little child, it's just like a big bathtub. But Daddy says, no, when you go, you're going to see it's different. How's it different, Daddy? It's salty. What? Salty? So Daddy and Mommy take the little boy to the beach and puts him in. Now you taste it. Now I know what the whole ocean is like. So by getting a drop of Ram Katha, Ram Leela, we can get a little appreciation for him. And that drop will nourish the Bhakti Lata Beej, the seed of devotion for Krishna and all that is Krishna conscious in our hearts. Now I think that all of us, without exception, are aware of the pastimes, the basic theme of the Ramayana, where the evil tyrant Ravana, I don't even like to say the name of these asuras. Do you know what Ravana means? Ravana means he who makes the universe scream. He who makes the universe scream in terror. Like Hiranyakashipu, Kamps, Shishupal, Putana. Their lives were full of horrific activities. Hiranyakashipu conquered the 14 worlds. Ravana also conquered the 14 worlds. Very powerful asuras. No one could bring him down. But his downfall is when he kidnapped the goddess of fortune, Sita Devi. That was his downfall. And he couldn't even enjoy her. He kidnapped her. Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. Lakshmi is not just, throwing gold coins down on the earth planet like you see in some of the paintings in India. She's a source of longevity, source of intelligence, source of wealth, source of health. Whatever we consider opulent comes from Lakshmi Devi. So he thought by kidnapping the goddess of fortune he would have so much enjoyment. But he couldn't actually enjoy her. Although he took her to Lanka, yes, in the Ashok garden, he couldn't enjoy her. Why? Well, it's a well-known secret that when Ravana was a young man, he violated the daughter of a great sage. I'm using the word politely, violated. The daughter of a great sage. And when that sage found out that this teenager had violated his daughter, his chaste virgin daughter, he cursed him. He said, young man, if you ever touch a girl without her permission, if you ever try to enjoy her without her permission, your head will immediately explode into 10,000 pieces. Now, the head's not very big, right? So what's 10,000 pieces? Like little tiny ice cubes like that. But the passion for enjoyment in this world is very strong. So he kidnapped her hoping against hope, but the curse was there. When a sadhu blesses you, that blessing goes very deep. And when a sadhu curses you, that curse goes very deep. So he couldn't enjoy. Try as hard as he could. The only way that one can take the blessings of the goddess of fortune is to please her husband, Lord Narayan. If you please Lord Narayan, Lakshmi's automatically pleased. So the secret for whatever material facilities we may need, because we're sadhus, we don't take according to our greed, we take according to our need. So we don't need so much in this world to be happy. We're happy because we have our mala. We're happiest when we're chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. But there's things to be done to maintain the body, our beloved family, contribute to our neighborhood, our country. We have these dharmas, but the ultimate dharma, sarva dharmam parichaja, is our service to Krishna. So we're happy with the minimum. We're not thinking about what we don't have. We're thinking about how much we have, how much mercy we have. We can hardly take advantage of it all. Puja, nam, dham, prasad, sadhu sangha. We have so much. So we're not lamenting like that. So he was a frustrated person. He didn't know the secret. Worship Lakshmi Narayan, and you'll have all the facilities that you need. You'll get her blessings in that way, as much as you need. To be peaceful, to worship Lord Ram. So, it's actually the eternal love story, the original love story. You know, people like novels about love, they like movies about love. There's all kinds of songs about love. All you need is love. She left me, now I'm sad. You know, it's all about love, mundane love, which is like iron compared to gold. Love in this world is like iron, and love in Krishna consciousness is like gold. It's a whole different thing. Love in this world generally is more like lust, I, me, and mine. But love in the spiritual world is like the gopis. They never ask Krishna for anything. They just want to serve him and see him happy. And if Krishna is happy, his parts and parcels are happy. That's the whole secret to life. In one sentence. They're trying so much in desperate ways to be happy. So the original love story, which just illuminates the hearts of all bhaktas, is when Ravana kidnapped Sita and took her to Lanka. He had a chariot of donkeys. You know, we can understand someone sometimes by their car. Oh, he's got a BM, right? He's got a Mercedes. He must be doing well, you know. Or he's just got some jalopy old. So, you know, we are the sun god. He traverses the skies in the evening to check everything out. He's got a chariot of beautiful white horses. Arjuna had horses as well. So he has donkeys. Ravana. So Ram was looking for her everywhere. We're jumping ahead many chapters. There's, like we have the Bhagavat Sapta. We speak 1 month about, Krishna Leela, especially in Kartik, Lord Damodar Leela. Ram Katha, I could sit here for 50 years and not conclude. But anyway, she was kidnapped. Ram searched for her everywhere. But when he heard, it's a long story, that she was in Lanka, he sent his most devoted servant, Hanuman. Like if you have an important mission, you make sure you send your best man or your best lady. You send them, please, you go, and I'm not able to go. You please accomplish this. Just like when Lord Chaitanya, or let us say Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, wanted to take the Sankirtan movement historically to the West for the first time, for the world. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati took his best man. Srila Prabhupada ki. And we see that he served above and beyond the call of duty. The best man. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, you spread this message of Gauranga in the English-speaking language, which is, you could say, a worldwide language. If people have any second language, it's not French or German or Dutch or Afrikaans. It's English. It's just, how things are in the world for whatever reason. Very intelligent. Just preach in the English-speaking language. Prabhupada did. His best man. No one can deny. Even so many of Prabhupada's godbrothers conceded to that, like Sridhar Swami. Prabhupada was very close to his godbrother, Sridhar Swami. He said, after seeing what Prabhupada has done, he's a Shaktavish avatar. We're speaking about an avatar today, the Lord himself. Shaktavish avatar means that he's especially empowered by Krishna to do the work of Krishna. I heard Prabhupada say one time, Lord Brahma, he can create a universe, but a pure devotee can deliver a universe. And we'll see in due course of time how Prabhupada has accomplished that. Not in my generation, maybe not in your generation. Maybe we'll be fortunate to take birth again and again and again and serve this divine mission of Srila Prabhupada. And in the end, to see the whole world is chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare. And then we go back to Godhead. We go back to Godhead when the mission of the Guru's accomplished. That's when we go back to Godhead. That's my understanding. So Hanuman, you go. So this is a great challenge because Lanka is it's a far off island off the southern coast of India. It's 100 yojanas away. 100 yojanas. I calculated a yojana. That means it's 1,300 kilometers away. I didn't have to look on the map. I could have easily just checked a map and said, 1,000 things. But I checked out the size of a yojana and I multiplied it, and it's 100 yojanas is 1,300 kilometers away. So here's a monkey. Of course, he's no ordinary monkey. He's a Varana. The Varana is a special race of monkeys, but just for practical purposes, how's Hanuman going to jump 100 yojanas? What he did is he went to a nearby mountain. Have you been to South India? Rameshwaram, Setabandhu. Some little mountain there. And he crouched down and boom! He jumped with such force. The acharyas say gold and silver started oozing out of that mountain. I tried to find that mountain when I went to South India. Pick up some gold for the Polish tour and the Rishikesh festival and the Sadhu Sangha retreat in America. Rath Yatra on the Durban beachfront 2025. So he crouched down and he bounced up and gold and silver started oozing out of the mountain. Don't think it's mythology. It's all true. We just don't have the eyes to see. We're born in Kali Yuga. What do we see? Just iron. And then Varuna, as he started crossing over the ocean, Varuna, the lord of the sea, saw Hanuman flying over. What is monkeys flying? Monkeys don't fly, they jump. Just whoosh. He said, oh, this great devotee is flying over my ocean. So he's a devotee, he's a devata, and devatas, they know their position. People worship them as supreme, but the devatas know they're subordinate to the Supreme Lord. They get all their potency from the Supreme Lord. Just like Ganesh. People worship Ganesh. I see in all the houses, little Ganesh is there in the entrance. Right? Where does Ganesh get his power from? He removes obstacles on the path of devotion, as far as we know. He has his two little tumuli, those little kind of antennas are kind of cute. Where are they? They're wrapped around the lotus feet of Narasimhadev. This is where Ganesh gets his potency, from Narasimha. So devatas, they know their position. So Varuna, he's flying back. So he called a mountain. He called a mountain Manika to assist Hanuman. Manika was a mountain of solid gold resting on the bottom of the ocean. Because what are islands? Islands are only the tip of a mountain that's at the bottom of the ocean. That's what people think islands are floating or something. Like, hello, mountains are... islands are not floating. Islands are the tip of a mountain which goes down to the bottom of the seabed. So the Manika personified, because, she was resting at the bottom of the ocean. So Varuna said, come on up and get up in the sky and give a resting place for Hanuman on this mission. 100 yojanas for a monkey. It's a long way. Needs a break. So Manika came up. Beautiful, solid gold mountain. I tried to see that, but in South India I couldn't see. I couldn't see the gold, the silver. I couldn't see the mountain, but anyway. So Hanuman saw this beautiful shimmering mountain in front of him. He said, what is this? And Manika said, I am your servant. I've come to give you a nice resting place. Hanuman was tired. He said, I'm sorry, I don't have much time. Sita's in difficulty. Such bhakti. Putting aside all his own interests, even his own comfort, he said, Sita is in difficulty. And Rama is concerned. So he just touched the mountain in gratitude and said, thank you very much for your service. I don't have time to rest. So this is the determination of a devotee. When he or she is on a mission, and remember, this is a missionary movement. We've all been delivered, and we're on the way home. If we stick to the straight and narrow, we'll be there soon enough. But this is a missionary movement. We're meant to share our good fortune with others because the whole world is bereft of auspiciousness. The whole world is bereft of auspiciousness. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kaviraj Goswami says, the concept of good and bad is wrong. It's all bad. Wow, these Hare Krishnas are really fanatics. But you come to realize that in due course of time. Even the good, we become attached to the good. We become comfortable, waste time procrastinating in our real business of chanting Hare Krishna and distributing the chanting of Hare Krishna. So many times we're thinking, right? I'm too tired. Can't do it. I'm going to go to sleep. But Hanuman wasn't thinking like that. Sita's in difficulty. And Ram, he's concerned. That's the heart of a Vaishnava. One time a newspaper reporter said to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, you're managing such a big movement, so many members. How do you deal with all the difficulties? Prabhupada said, I don't see difficulties. I only see service to my Guru Maharaj. This is disciple. This is the heart of a disciple. I don't see difficulties. I only see seva to my Guru. So a little bit later, he just touched the mountains. Thank you, bye. She's like, oh, please. I want to do some service. Sorry. I don't know how to spell R-E-S-T. So as Hanuman was traveling over the ocean, a powerful Rakshashi, now the opposite now. Padma Purana says there's two types of created being in this world, the divine and the demoniac. So he met a divine golden mountain personified, and now a powerful Rakshashi. Whoosh! She comes out of the ocean. My dear Hanuman, I mean, there's still, she's a demon, but to see the culture. My dear Hanuman, I've been given a benediction by Lord Brahma that no one can pass by me without me eating them. People come, they're speaking on the street, in the world, you that and you're that. Here, my dear Hanuman, good morning. You can't go by because if you do, I'm going to eat you. What a culture. The world is bereft of ladies and gentlemen. So Hanuman, what he did is he expanded his body 10 yojanas long. 10. A yojana is 13.2 kilometers. So then what did she do? She had a big mouth. I'm not just saying the way she's talking, but she had a big mouth, this Rakshasi. And she expanded her mouth 20 yojanas. So Hanuman, he expanded himself 30 yojanas. And then her mouth became 40 yojanas. Anyway, this cycle got to the point where her mouth was 100 yojanas wide. That's the distance between Svetabandhu and Sri Lanka. She took up the whole space. Brahma gave me this benediction. I can take you in my mouth and eat you. So Hanuman, because Rakhe Krishna Mare Krishna Rakhe. Krishna wants to kill you, no one can save you. If Krishna wants to save you, no one can kill you. So that takes place in different times and under different circumstances. What did Hanuman do? He reduced himself to the size of a thumb, went into her mouth, and came out. He said, so, my dear, see the culture, my dear, Brahma's benediction has been fulfilled. I was in your mouth. In essence, you devoured me, and now I'm out, so let me pass. So this demoness Rakshasi, just like Ravana. Ravana was born as a Brahmin. Did you know that? He was born as a Brahmana. And therefore he was very intelligent. You've got to be intelligent to conquer 14 worlds. It said that Narada Muni was his foot servant. Narada Muni was the foot servant of Ravana. He had some intelligence, but polluted intelligence. Don't think that the demons are some bumbly like, the guy gets lucky. And no, they're very smart, just like the atheists. Sometimes I have to debate with atheists. I have to learn my verses before the debate, because they're smart guys, but everything's topsy-turvy. So she said to me, she said to Hanuman, oh, Hanuman, you're so intelligent. Go ahead. I wish you all good fortune in finding Sita, the Rakshasi. Interesting, right? So when Hanuman arrived in Sri Lanka, he reduced himself to a thumb to go in the Rakshasi's mouth and her tummy, but he reduced himself to the size of a cat. I mean, we're fast forward many chapters, so much nectar. He reduced himself to the form of a cat and entered the city through a large gate. At that place, there was this huge man-eating Rakshasa. We have Rakshasis, like we have Brahmacharinis, we have Brahmacharyas. So he was a Rakshasa. And when he saw this little tiny cat-like monkey, he said, who are you? And what is your business? So then, that Rakshasa turned into a Rakshasi. This is called shape-shifting or something they say today. I don't know how they did. So it's a Rakshasi. So she said, I am the personification of Sri Lanka, and I am the proud servant of Ravana. Like Prahlad, when he addressed his father one time, he said, dear father, he wanted to preach to him, he said, you're the best of the asuras. You give a little compliment before you start to chastise somebody. You're doing good, but, right? So, Pita, you're the best of the asuras. Oh, thank you, Prahlad. But father, I think that you should give up all this nonsense and go to the forest. mainly you should go to the forest of Vrindavan and worship Krishna. He said that, Prahlad. Of course, his father didn't take those instructions to heart. So she said, I'm the personification of Sri Lanka, and I'm the proud servant of Ravana. No one can go beyond this point without being destroyed. And then she slapped Hanuman as hard as she could. But it didn't faze Hanuman. He just stood there. What did he do? He slapped her. Boom! And she went flying to the ground. She said very humbly, Hanuman, a long time ago, Lord Brahma, Lord Brahma has to give these benedictions to the demons like he gave to Hiranyakarna. It's just part of his dharma. A long time ago, Brahma came here and told me that one day a little cat-like monkey is going to defeat me. And when that day comes, you can know that soon after that, all the Rakshasas and Ravana and the whole city of Lanka will be destroyed. Looks like it's all over. So that's a very famous pastime in the Ramayana, that Hanuman slapped her. And in one sense she came to her senses. And there's actually a bona fide deity in Silpa Shastra of Hanuman in that pose, slapping this Rakshasi. And by the mercy of the Lord, a sadhu in South India gave me that deity. I have a deity of Hanuman, and he's like this. We worship Hanuman. He's so cute, Hanuman. He's like this. So I worship Hanuman like that so that I won't be slapped by the material energy. Very interesting deity. Maybe, probably shouldn't say it publicly, but 350 years old. If you want, I can send you a photo. So it's a long and wonderful Leela. How much time do I have? Okay. It's a long and wonderful Leela. How Hanuman actually found Sita. You know that Leela. She's in the Ashok garden. And Ravana, he's bent on enjoying Sita. She's in the Ashok garden. So he would try to trick her. He'd take on different disguises. He'd come dressed as a brahmana, or he'd come dressed as a merchant, or he'd come dressed as a priest. Or, he put on different disguises to fool her, so he could come close to her and embrace her, hoping that the benediction or the curse wouldn't work. But she wouldn't let him come close. So he put on these different disguises, and it got to the point where she knew every time it's Ravana in a different disguise. So when Hanuman found her in the Ashok garden, he's a monkey, he's in a tree, and he's thinking, if I come before her like a monkey, she's going to think I'm Ravana in a disguise, and she'll push me away, and I won't be able to give the ring that Ram gave me to give to her, to give her confidence in me, and to give her to assure her that Ram's going to come. So what shall I do? So what did he do? Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Shmaram, hearing and chanting. In the tree, Bhagupati Raghava Rajaram, Patita Pavana Sitaram, Sitaram Jai Sitaram, Sitaram Jai Sitaram, Raghupati Raghava Rajaram, Patit Pavan. And then he started crying, Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram. So she heard this bhav, she heard this emotion, which a demon, a materialist, even an aspiring devotee cannot imitate. Because when you have that devotion, you capture Krishna. And Krishna doesn't give himself very easily because love controls Krishna. He wants to be controlled by a devotee with amala bhakti, a pure heart. So these weren't crocodile tears. Mothers will know what crocodile tears are, right? Oh, big tears are coming out. I can't get my candy. Yeah, well, look at your teeth. You're having too much candy. Getting cavities. There's crocodile tears. Well, I heard Prabhupada say one time, a woman's ultimate weapon is her tears. Sorry, Lance. You know better than me. And man's weapon is his false ego. Okay, guys, so it's... But this was real tears. Oh Govinda, feeling your separation, I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain. I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. That it can only come when the heart is 100% freed of lust, anger, and greed, and even the most tiny iota of selfish desire, but only Krishna, 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 Krishna. Like the gopis of Braj. This is their mood. They gave up everything, even their reputation, which is so important to people, for Krishna. So though gopis don't cry crocodile tears. Those are the real tears that we someday hope will come to our eyes while chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. So she looked up and she saw Hanuman. Now she saw a monkey, but she wasn't afraid. You know, if you're in Vrindavan, you are afraid of monkeys, I tell you. And she said, Jai Sri Ram. Hanuman jumped down and he gave her the ring. So she knew that he was an emissary, an ambassador of Ram, come to deliver her. He said he'll come soon. So after discovering Sita, at that point Hanuman jumped back across the ocean, went back to the Dandakaranya forest, and informed Ram what had happened. So, jumping ahead too far, Ram assembled an army of monkeys and bears. Monkeys and bears. Somehow those monkeys and bears were most devoted to him. Like I've many times said, Prabhupada joked one time, he said, just as Ram conquered Lanka and Ravana with monkeys and bears, I'm conquering the world with my disciples. And we all went like, oh, we don't have anything to be proud of, it's only Prabhupada's mercy. And he had that army go down to the southern coast, Rameshwaram, or Setamandhu. And Ram was looking at the ocean, and he was thinking, how am I going to cross this ocean? Well, wait a minute. Ram's wondering how he's going to cross the ocean. He's the Supreme Lord, a Vigina Swarat. He's a Vigina Swarat. Prabhupada used to like that terminology. It means God is present everywhere through his energies, which are not different than him. Therefore, he knows everything. So it's not a big deal for him to... But devotees are always pulling on, like the girls, right? When remember you're 2 years old, mommy, give me this, you know, on your sari or your gopi dress, whatever these days. Mommy, give me. So devotees are always pulling on Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Give me service. That's the meaning of the mantra. Prabhupada would often say, the meaning, oh my Lord, oh do energy of the Lord, Sri Radhika, please engage me in your service. Because we've been bereft of that service for billions and billions and billions and billions of lifetimes. Therefore, when you get the service, even a small service to Radharanath, you get to sweep the floor. Or take your little baby out and feed her so she can grow up and be a pujari. Shishi Radharana. Even the smallest service, it's so satisfying because that's our connection to Krishna. Krishna says, I can only be understood as I am by the process of devotional service. So it resuscitates us. It delivers us. And it gives us service in some kunj in Vrindavan forever and ever and forevermore. So service is our lifeline. It's our lifeline. So knowing this, Ram, he didn't just do it himself. He gave the service to the monkeys and bears. Okay, you guys build a bridge. Actually, he pretended not to know. So a personality named Vibhishana, he spoke up. Oh, Ram, I think that you should do some tapasya and ask the ocean to help. Ask the ocean to help? So Ram just kind of remains, like, oh, really, ocean? Interestingly enough, this Vibhishana, he was the younger brother of Ravana. He was a Rakshasa through and through. But he was of noble character. So when Ravana kidnapped Sita in the Dandakaranya forest, Vibhishana insisted, Ravana, you give her back. She doesn't belong to you. She's the goddess of fortune. She belongs to that Ram. Give her back. And Ram said, no, I'm not going to give her. Ravana said, no, I'm not going to give her back. So Vibhishana, he left Rama and he joined Ram. Felt like us. Most of us, we were born in, glories to my parents, but we were born in demoniac families. My parents would, drink and eat meat. Of course, my mom, she went back to Godhead. I'll tell that story later. But we made it. We made it by the mercy of a pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada, Mahaprabhu, Radharani. We're on our way home. So Vibhishana, he said, give her back. Ravana said, no. Vibhishana, I'm leaving. And he went to Ram. And when he first went to Ram, he joined him there on the ocean. All the associates in Ram, whoa, watch out. Don't trust him. He's the brother of Ravana. He's not just some ordinary Rakshasa. He's the brother. Blood is thicker than water. Family ties. He's attached. He's some spy. He's KGB. Sorry. He's CIA. Whoa. I know what you have down here. But after hearing different opinions, Lord Ram gave his verdict. Because why? He's in the heart of every living entity. He knows us through and through. You try to keep some secret of all secrets, he knows it before you even knew it. He knows your heart. So he gave a verdict to all aspiring devotees of the Lord. Ram, he gave a verdict to all those of us who know our hearts. I am my worst enemy. I know the attachments I'm holding on to. I like name and fame. I like to sneak out. All the skeletons in the closet. We're trying to get rid of them, but, just doubts are demons. Just to have a doubt. Is it really true? One time one of my god sisters said to Prabhupada, is it true, Prabhupada, God's blue and he's a little boy and he plays a flute and he dances with girls and at midnight in autumn? Prabhupada said, do you think I would cheat you? Do you think I would cheat you? Oh, no, Prabhupada. So doubts are also demons. That's described in Bhagavad Gita. So even though we're not crying yet, so there's something there resisting in the heart. But still, Lord is so kind. What did he say at that time to all the doubting that Vibhishana shouldn't be accepted? He said, Sukrit eva pananas yas tavasmiti chayatshite abhayam savada tasmai tadam yatad pitam mama. Such important. Listen to this. It is my vow that if one only once seriously surrenders unto me, saying, my dear Lord, from this day on I am yours, and prays to me for courage, I shall immediately award courage to that person, and he will always remain safe from that time on. Does it make you feel better today? That is my vow, that if one only once seriously surrenders unto me, saying, my dear Lord, from this day on I'm yours, and prays to me for courage, I shall immediately award courage to that person, and he will always remain safe from that time on. So please repeat after me. My dear Lord Ramachandra, from this day on, I am yours. Thank you. You're accepted. Irregardless. Jai Sri Ram! Jai Sri Ram! Jai Sri Ram! So Ram followed this Rakshasa's advice, Vibhishana. He accepted what was really very deep in his heart, Krishna consciousness. So he sat, what was Vibhishana's advice? Do some austerities. And ask the ocean permission. Get the blessings of the ocean to pass. So the Ramayana, Canto 6, Chapter 21, describes Lord Ram's penance. Lord Ram did penance. If Lord Ram can do penance, we can do penance, right? We can follow the 4 rules and regulations of devotional service. Just to show us the path of devotion. He did penance. And the Ramayana says like this: Thereafter Ram, the annihilator of enemies, spreading sacred grass on the seashore, made a respectable salutation by joining his palms to the great ocean, and his face turned eastward, lay down with his arm resembling the body of the snake as his pillow. Remaining there for 3 nights, Ram, who is skilled in policy and fond of piety, waited upon the ocean, the Lord of rivers. Doing penance, he wanted to have a darshan with the guy who's in charge of the ocean. A master's, respectful to his servants, to their duty. He's encouraged them. He agrees that he's glad that demigods are doing things to help run the universe. So he did some penance, but ocean didn't come. So after some time, because the ocean wasn't coming, Varuna wasn't coming, Lord Ram took his arrow, shot it into the ocean. And what happened? The Ramayana says, swaying his terrific bow and making the earth tremble by his violence, Ram released an arrow resembling the powerful thunderbolt of Indra, god of the celestials. And as a result of that fiery arrow, sound effects help. Fiery arrow, ocean started boiling. That's an arrow and that's an ocean boiling. And when all the aquatics started screaming, the ocean personified came out with folded palms. Now I found, because I wanted to know like what happened next. In the Ramayana I couldn't, the edition of the Ramayana I had didn't describe like what happened when Varuna came out. I found in the Skanda Purana last night, 1 o'clock in the morning, the personified ocean, the Lord of rivers, wearing a wreath of pearls, with his eyes resembling lotus leaves, bearing a beautiful garland made of all kinds of flowers on his head, with ornaments of refined gold, adorned with excellent jewels, made of pearls from his domain, decorated with different kinds of gems and metals, resembling the Himvat mountain, wearing on his broad chest a locket, shielding a white luster, resembling a Kaustubha gem, with a multitude of waves whirling around him, encircled by the clouds and winds, escorted by rivers like the Ganges and the Sindhu, endowed with diverse forms resembling various deities, approached Ram with joined palms, who stood with arrows in hand, and addressed him as Ram. Jai Sri Ram! Jai Sri Ram! Jai Sri Ram! And said the following words: O beloved Ram, earth, wind, water, and light remain fixed in their own nature. Therefore I am fathomless, and my nature is that it is impossible to swim across my waters. No one can cross my waters. But now, subservient to you, because my ocean's boiling, I'm telling you now how to cross over me. O excellent Ram, There's one Varana monkey named Nala, the son of Vishwakarma. Let this greatly energetic monkey build a bridge across me. That's where the bridge comes from. Varuna, he suggested it. He had to, he had no choice. It's getting hot in here. Woo! It's like the bathtub's getting too hot, I'm out. So under Nala's guidance, it's a long story, but Nala's guidance, the monkeys and bears in Ram's army, they began building a bridge. They actually, initially they were gathering trees, shrubs, grass, but then they started getting rocks and boulders from everywhere. And they started throwing them in the water. And they were sinking, so there was no bridge going down to the... So then, I forget who it was, they said, just write the name of Ram on the boulder. See what happens. So Hanuman wrote Ram. Big boulder. Boom. Just like a little raft. It floated. See the power of Ram's name. Therefore, when my godbrother Pusta Krishna used to chant japa with Prabhupada, one time he's chanting next to Prabhupada, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Prabhupada said, what type of nonsense are you chanting? Prabhupada, I'm chanting the Maha Mantra. You're not chanting the whole mantra. It's not Rama, it's Rama. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Of course, sometimes when we chant fast, in our mind we're saying Rama, but Ram comes out. There's some tapes like that, but that's the mantra. There's how many syllables? 36? 2? 32. And if you miss 2, it's like, your doctor gives you a prescription, antibiotics for 6 weeks, and you cut out the last 2 weeks. You won't get the right result. Repeat after me. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Spasibo Bolshoi. That's Russian. My good friend, I'm with him all the time. I'm hearing these Russian words. Spasibo Bolshoi. Hare Krishna. Duh. Now, here's something really interesting if I have time. The Skanda Purana gives a detailed report of construction. Like if you're building a temple, somebody comes and, how much construction did they do today? I found in the Skanda Purana, it's described in yojanas, how many yojanas every day the bridge was built. On the first day, they constructed 180 kilometers with the bridge of rocks. On the second day, they constructed 256 kilometers of the bridge. Of course, this is just details, but love is in the details. The third day, 270 kilometers of the bridge was constructed. On the fourth day, 283 kilometers of the bridge was constructed. On the fifth day, 294 kilometers of the bridge was constructed. Isn't that interesting? Jai Sri Ram! Jai Sri Ram! Jai Sri Ram! Death to Ravana! So the rocks were floating. They're writing the name, every single rock. I think if you're an archaeologist and you want to find something really amazing, don't go to South America and dig for the Mayan ruins, the Inca ruins, or go to Persia and find, go to this ocean and dig down and take out a boulder that has Ram's name on it. That can be your Ishtadev. I was recently told in India there's a saying, rocks with Ram's names will float, but a heart deprived of Ram's name will surely sink. Haribol, yes, Haribol. Rocks with Ram's name will float, but a heart deprived of Ram's name will surely sink. So what's a heart deprived of Ram's name? somebody's not chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama. Now I also found in the Skanda Purana, described the bridge when it was finished. Shall I tell this next year, or I should tell you now? Now? Okay. When completed. This beautiful and lovely bridge, constructed across the ocean, the abode of alligators, shone brightly like a Milky Way of stars in the sky. This beautiful and lovely bridge, constructed across the ocean, the abode of alligators, don't go surfing there, shone brightly like a Milky Way of stars in the sky. All our scriptures, all the acharyas and all the poets, they speak in such a way as to elicit feelings of love from within our, even for an ocean, even for a bridge constructed by the faithful servants of Lord Ram. So Lord Ram and Lakshman crossed the bridge, and the monkeys followed. You really want to know what it sounded like or what it looked like? Skanda Purana says, after, Ram and Lakshman had crossed, that's the etiquette, right? So the monkeys came, and there's thousands of them, millions of them. Some monkeys went along the middle of the bridge, Skanda Purana says. Some others went along the sides. Some others were jumping into the water. Some others marched forward on the path. Some monkeys entered the sky and flew like Garuda the eagle. The terrific sound of the ocean was covered up by the great sounds of these terrific monkeys who were crossing the sea, eager for battle with Ravana and his hordes of Rakshasas. Jai Sri Ram! Death to Ravana! Thank you. So because of these very amazing pastimes, the Skanda Purana glorifies this place where we're mostly speaking about today. Rameshwaram. Seta Bandhu. Seta means bridge and Bandhu means, in this sense, a boulder. It glorifies that place. And I would encourage you, next time you go to India, you go to Vrindavan, Mayapur, and Rameshwaram. Because hopefully we're planting a seed of spiritual desire in your heart that will one day fructify. So here's glorification. Well, that's just where they started. What's the big deal? They're the tip of the continent, and they just build a bridge. They walked up. No, everything tadiya connected to Krishna consciousness is divine. The paraphernalia used by the Lord, it's all divine. The food that he eats is divine. Everything's divine in Krishna consciousness, becomes transformed. So that place, that tip of India, Bharat, this is what Skanda Purana describes Rameshwaram like. The dust particles on earth can be counted. The stars in the sky can be estimated. But the merit resulting from a visit to Seta Bandhu, Rameshwaram, cannot be known even by Anantadev. If anyone tells anyone else, go to Seta Bandhu, he also attains the same benefit, O Brahmanas. This is certain. Like, I'm getting a lot of benefit today. I'm telling you, all go to Rameshwaram if you have time. We find time. And then it says, if anyone tells someone else, go to Setu, he also attains the same benefit. Haribo! So how many of you maybe in this lifetime would like to go there? Raise your hands. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. I'll just stay in Vrindavan. If a person lies on the sand of Setu and the particles of sand stick to his body, O excellent Brahmanas, as many sins of killing Brahmanas as there are in sand particles on his body are destroyed. There is no doubt about it. Did you catch that? If a person lies on the sand of Setu and the particles of sand stick to his body, O excellent Brahmanas, as many sins of killing Brahmanas as there are in sand particles on his body will be destroyed. No doubt about it. So I recommend, because we don't know what we did a million years ago, roll in the sand. Like you roll in the dust of Braj, you roll in the sand. If a person thinks about someone and takes a holy bath in Setu, oh excellent Brahmanas, the sin of associating with sinful people is dissolved. Hare Krishna. Seta Bandhu ki. So we all know that afterwards in Sri Lanka there was a great fight, a huge battle, and Ravana and his Rakshasas were killed. And afterwards Ram and Sita, Diwali, okay, the real Diwali, not just buying sweets and giving them to your friends. They went on the Pushpak Vimana airplane. It was the airplane that I was reading Ravana had stolen from Kuvera. It was the Vimana of Kuvera, and Ravana stole it. So as the booty, as the one of the prizes of winning the battle, Sitaram, they flew in that chariot to Ayodhya. And as they flew over the ocean, Ram said to Sita, because this is one of the original love stories, "My dear Sita, just see this ocean, capable of washing away all sins within the heart." So in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 9, verse 199, Prabhupada writes, "What happened to that bridge?" Because I was researching, I thought, well, wait a minute, where's the bridge? It was made of boulders, and we see temples from Satya Yuga. There's a deity of Lord Nrsingadev at Nrsingsapali in Mayapur. That deity is a self-manifested deity from Satya Yuga. He's there, self-manifested deity from Satya Yuga. So I'm thinking, okay, this is Treta Yuga. Why? And it's boulders. Why isn't the bridge still there? Do you ever think like this? Like an inquisitive mind, digs deep to understand and get more shraddha, more faith. Of course, all you need for faith is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Even in the mind. Yesterday I did initiation for disciples in Russia, day before yesterday. And one of my female disciples, she was taking second initiation. So I was giving initiation by Zoom, right? So over the Zoom I was, Om, I can't tell you the rest of the mantra, Gayatri, right? And she came in front, and I started saying it. She went like this. I thought, what, you don't want the mantra? I heard she was a really good devotee. So then the person who was orchestrating, he said, "Oh, I'm sorry to tell you, Maharaj, she's deaf and dumb. She can't hear, she can't speak. She can't hear, she can't speak. She's an orphan from some village, and she's just an orphanage, and somehow devotees did a program there, and she became a devotee, and became a really good devotee." How do you tell a devotee? By their adhikari, by their qualifications. She had so many Tatikshava, Krunika, Suridam, Sarvadehinam, Achatasatavasanta, Sadavasada, Bhushanaha. Devotees are decorated with all the qualities of the devatas. So how does she become so advanced if she can't speak the mantra, she can't hear the mantra? Because the mantra is so powerful, if you just repeat it in your mind, it has the same effect. Look at Haridas Thakur, 100,000 names he was doing mentally. 100,000 names softly. 100,000 names at the top of his lungs for the benefit of others. This mantra is so merciful. If you're sick, like I lost my voice one time for almost 2 years, I'm still here because I was chanting in my mind. And I found there's no disturbances, Once you kind of conquer your mind, it's so wonderful. Many sadhus, they chant 192 rounds, manasa, in Vrindavan. Power of the mantra. So, I'm thinking, what happened to this bridge? This bridge was made of boulders and with Ram's name on it. How could it be destroyed? It must be there somewhere. So what happened to the bridge? I hope they ask me to give this lecture next year, because I will tell you then. I found a verse. I found Prabhupada says what happened to that floating bridge. So thank you very much. I'll tell you next. He already knows. So how many of you would like to know what happened to that bridge? Okay. Boo. Prabhupada, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 9, verse 199, purport. It is said that on the request of Ravana's younger brother, Vibhishana, Lord Ramachandra destroyed the bridge to Lanka and his bow while returning to his capital. Don't ask me why, but Vibhishana, that was his request for some Krishna conscious reason. It was destroyed. But I've heard that they found parts of that bridge, underneath now today, which gives credence to this. But Prabhupada gives a special benediction in that same purport. It is also said that one who visits Dhanu's Tirtha, or Setubandhu, Rameshwaram, is liberated from the cycle of birth and death, and that one who bathes there gets all the fruited results of performing the yajna known as Agni Shtoma. Shira Prabhupada Ki! Nice benediction. These benedictions are necessary because to get to the platform of prema, we have to remove the material desires, and it's very difficult on our own, so we depend on the mercy of Hari, Guru, and Vaishnava. Here's a blessing from Prabhupada. Cleanse your heart by going there. You can be liberated from the cycle of birth and death. If you take a bath, you get all the benefits of doing an Agni Shtoma. Hare Krishna. One more thing I'd like to share with you. This is Lord Ram's birthday. You want to take this? This is Lord Ram's birthday. And, on someone's birthday, you're supposed to give them presents, right? We're supposed to give presents. But we also understand the Lord's very, very far away, so we can please Him by honoring His servants. So I was thinking, utilizing that philosophy, I would like to give a present to a servant of the Lord on the Lord's birthday, because the Lord's more pleased when we honor His devotee than we honor Him Himself. I'm tying it all in very nicely here, isn't it? This is a nice day to give a birthday present to a nice devotee, and that devotee is my very dear, loving friend, confidant, and also sometimes advisor, our illustrious temple president, Swarup Damodar Prabhu. Just like Ram was a very virtuous king and he ruled very nicely, he knew how to solve problems. When I think of Swarup, he's a problem solver, and as he's been glorified, I believe, I don't know who told you this, you told me yesterday, you solved the problems immediately. Who told you that? Somebody told me that. One of his, he doesn't put the problem aside, but he works on it as quickly as possible to resolve it. And he's also always very good-natured. He somehow remains above it all, isn't it, Sukumari? That there's so many problems, but still he has, of course you maybe know a few different things, but he's generally very jolly, and that's very rare. I had a good friend in Krishna consciousness, the jolly Swami, Sridhar Maharaj. He'd take on so many problems, but he always had this optimistic mood. So Swarup's like that as well. And he takes on, you might call the thankless task when there was nobody here to take on the temple management. He'd done it before. COVID came. For whatever reason, there wasn't, our temple president wasn't able to carry on. He stepped up. I think he deserves a big round of applause for that. I can tell you frankly, the hardest service in the this is like a broad statement, the hardest service in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness is being a temple president. Because you have to manage so many devotees, many wonderful devotees, but we're not pure yet, so sometimes conflict comes up, sometimes differences come up, sometimes there's no water, there's no money to pay, and it all falls on the head of the temple president. So I feel he's taken this responsibility very, 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 3 times in Vedic culture, very, very nicely, along with his good wife, Sukumari. They're a very nice, they're very nice grihastras, a good example for grihastras, Sukumari and Swarup, because I did the wedding. Let's give them a big round of applause. They both have Guru Nishta. I asked Tamal Krishna Maharaj one time, Goswami Maharaj, what is the most important quality to find in a disciple? He immediately replied, Guru Nishta, faith in the spiritual master. Yasha Devi Para Bhakti, Yatta Devi Tata Guru. One who has full faith in the spiritual master in Krishna, all the knowledge in the Vedic scriptures is revealed, even if you didn't get good grades in school. It's all by divine mercy. Everything's by mercy. So both of them are a perfect example of Guru Nisha. She has so much faith in her Guru Maharaj. She's like when Hanuman stepped on the mountain, it oozed out gold and silver. She's oozing with love for her Guru, Partha Maharaj, and Prabhupada. And Swarup, they're like one. The Grihastas, they're like body one, but the wife's the better half. But he also has full faith in his spiritual master, Giriraj Maharaj. I've seen it. 100%. It's a rare quality. We're all aspiring to be pure servants of our Guru. And all glories to anyone who's taken initiation and is trying their best. But sometimes you have these obvious, beautiful examples like Swarup and Sukumari. They have full faith. They'll do anything for their spiritual master. And he's also a very excellent servant. He's also, he drives me around and, takes me to the pool every day to get my exercise. And if he needs something, he goes and buys it. And he knows how to arrange my things and pick up after me. He's been trained by Giriraj Swami how to be a perfect servant as well. And that's also required. The master needs a team that can help him in his service to his spiritual master. So both these devotees are perfect examples of how to serve the Guru. So you need not look any further. You're very fortunate here in this Shri Shri Radharana Temple of Understanding. You have good example of Guru Nishta, and you have good example of householder disciples, and you have good example of devotees who will do the need whenever it's required. So once again, a big round of applause for Swarup. And I thank Swarup for his friendship. I'll be quite honest with you. I have many invitations around the world. I've been invited, this past month and a half, I had many invitations to Brazil, Canada. Someone was going to Malaysia, first class air ticket, business class, But one reason I chose to come here, because I've been here many times. I've done Rath Yatra many times. One reason I came was for the friendship of Swarup Damodar Prabhu. I came here a little bit, my selfish interest. I like to be around people who are positive, who know the philosophy very well. He's a very good preacher. He spoke at my Vyas Puja the other day about the meaning of Vyas Puja. It was a beautiful talk. Whenever he opens his mouth, he speaks very nice. He's blessed by his Guru, who himself was one of the best preachers in Krishna consciousness, Giriraj Swami. So it's just good to be around him. You want to serve devotees who have shraddha, who have faith, who have vision, who have ideas, can take problems and deal with them. And meanwhile, they're just fun to be around. So that's Swarup. So this present I'm giving him, this present, well, let him take it. You can come here and open it. This present is envied, well, by, open the little one first. It's envied by 33 million demigods. It's something that's desired, I'm sure, even by our previous acharyas. And it's desired by every single devotee who ever called himself a Gaudiya Vaishnava. Put it on. Put it on. It's a kavacha. And within this kavacha, it's a small particle of the wooden shoes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Yuga Avatar. I visited the temple with the shoes with him. Dhameshwara Mahaprabhu temple in Puri. I have a long-standing relationship with the Pujari there. He was a little boy when I first met him. Now he's my age. He's even older than me, a little older. And he, well, younger than me, but elderly man. And he, I don't know if I can say this publicly. Anyway, he was the Pujari, and we had darshan of those shoes. And when he showed me the shoes, he knocked them, and a little piece, this is Mahaprabhu's shoes, fell off. And I put it in there for Swarup. I have a little piece myself. He's got a bigger piece. Those shoes were given by Lord Chaitanya to Sachi Mata after taking sannyas. And with the idea that Sachi Mata should give them to Vishnupriya, the wife of Lord Chaitanya, who was feeling so much separation from Lord Chaitanya. We can just imagine. She had been given Mahaprabhu ordered a deity of himself made from the very neem tree that he was born under. She was worshipping that deity. You can go to Navadvip and see that deity in that temple. But just as an extra consolation, he gave her his wooden shoes. And she worshipped those shoes for the rest of her life. They're flooded with her tears. And I don't know if anyone ever gets to see those shoes because they hardly take them off the altar, but a little piece came off, and for his service, we're giving that piece to Swarup Damodar, along with a piece of the shoe from Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. Yeah, I was with that family. There was a ceremony. The shoes are brought out once a year. Same thing. I got to do artik to them and put them down. Tiny piece fell. Pujari said, okay, you keep. So that piece I split up a couple of pieces. So he's wearing the shoes of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, who was the person, his deity was the Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam. He had one disciple, Gadadhar Bhatta Goswami. As a whole pastime, I'm telling actually that pastime tonight when I record my class for tomorrow, for Friday. But Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. Rupan Sanatan Goswami used to go daily to hear the classes of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. So the padakas, the wooden shoes, you know, actually when Ram left, he gave his shoes to Bharat to worship in his absence. That's how important these things are, these shoes. He gave it to Bharat. You worship these shoes in my absence, Bharat. Ram Leela. And there's one more piece of shoe in there. A piece of the shoe of His Divine Grace, Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paritipajitara, Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. It's a small piece of shoe there. So things are done in threes. So these things are very dear to me. I've given little bits to a couple of devotees, but I was waiting to come to South Africa, always thinking of Swarup and my loving relationship with him and his good wife, and how deep they are themselves in Krishna consciousness and Braj Bhakti. They're appreciating that and their service and just loving both their spiritual masters. Parthasarthi Maharaj, he's coming to see me tomorrow. I said, I'll come see you, he'll come see me. And Giriraj Maharaj is my bosom buddy, so it's all connected, it's all a family. And I'm very happy to share, because Nectar Devotion says when you give something to someone you love, you should give something from your heart, something valuable, something that pinches a little bit. So that devotee knows how much you love them. So Swarup, I love you, and this is a gift to you from me. Swarup Damodar ki, Mother Sukumari ki, Parthasarthi Maharaj ki, Giriraj Maharaj ki, Shri Baba Bhada ki, Shishi Radharanath ki, Yay Giriraj Govardhanala from Siwala ki, Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki, Shri Krishna Sankirtan Yagya ki, Bhagavat Prasadam ki, Jai Sri Ram! Jai Sri Ram! Jai Sri Ram! Go Premanande! Hari Bol, thank you. I want to show you one more thing. He'll open it up. So come open it up in front of everybody. Come in front of here. It's a nice cover. We've given Swarup presents before, but not on this level. Now open it up. Unfortunately, I'm in the picture. This is me with Lord Chaitanya's shoes. This is me with Lord Chaitanya's shoes, and this is the shoes of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. I'm hungry after all of that. And I'm only eating quinoa and avocado, so I'm going to go home and take prasadam with your blessings. Thank you, Prabhus. Shri Ram Chandra Maha Mahotsava K.
Srila Prabhupada Ki. His Holiness Indradyumna Swami Maharaj Ki. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I'm a bit... I don't know what to say. His Holiness Indradyumna Swami, if anyone wanted a friend, just as we're celebrating today Ram Naumi, Lord Ram is celebrated as the ideal king, the ideal son, the ideal brother, the ideal husband, the ideal everything. And I feel in the personality of His Holiness Indradyumna Swami, disciples will find the ideal spiritual master. I know Gaura Shakti, his son, has the ideal father. I hear that from him. And friends can have him as the ideal friend as well. So, thank you, Maharaj. Even though we are not deserving, but Indradyumna Maharaj has taken this.
I didn't say it was his birthday. It's Ram's birthday, so I'm giving to Ram's devotee instead of Ram directly, because if we serve the Lord's devotee, the Lord is more pleased.
But such a gift I'm definitely undeserving of. Definitely Sukumari is very deserving of it. So I think he's just using me as the excuse to give it to her. So hopefully we can make good on Maharaj's desires for our humble self to grow in Krishna consciousness and become worthy of what he's actually saying today. So thank you to His Holiness Indradyumna Maharaj. Your friendship, your guidance, your shelter is very much what we are made up of. His Holiness Indradyumna Maharaj Ki. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I'd like to say a very big thank you to Maharaj for his very inspiring class and the very beautiful pastimes that he shared with us. Thank you very much for that, Maharaj, on this very auspicious day of Ram Naumi. Lord Ramachandra Ki Jai. So I would like to also take this opportunity, since Maharaj did speak about this, on behalf of the entire congregation that is seated here, we would also like to thank Swarup Prabhu and Sukumari Mataji. Thank you for everything that you all do at Sri Sri Radha Radhanath Temple of Understanding. Thank you for assisting us on a daily basis with our Krishna consciousness. So a huge round of applause to them as well. So before we start with Kirtan, I just have a few announcements to make. Our fruit, flower and lamp offering will continue after Kirtan. This evening we have a class with His Holiness Parthasarati Das Goswami Maharaj. So please do attend the evening program for the celebrations to continue. And we will have Prashad at our Prashadam tent after Kirtan. Hare Krishna.
Namo Vishnu Padhaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadhi Pasya Shetarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody please clap your hands. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. हे गोविंदा, हे गोपाल, केशव माधव दीन दयाल. हे गोविंदा, हे गोपाल, केशव माधव दीन दयाल. दीना दयाल प्रभु, दीन दयाल, दीन दयाल प्रभु, दीन दयाल. दीन दयाल प्रभु, दीन दयाल, दीन दयाल प्रभु, दीन दयाल. श्याम सुंदर कन्हैया लाल, गिरिवरधारी नंद दुलार. नंद दुलार प्रभु, नंद दुलार, नंद दुलार प्रभु, नंद दुलार. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Nitai Gauranga Gaura Hari, Nitai Gauranga Gaura Hari. Nitai Gauranga Gaura Hari, Nitai Gauranga Gaura Hari. Gaura 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 Hari, Gaura 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 Hari. Gaura 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 Hari, Nitai Gauranga Jaya Gaura Hari. Patita Pavana Gaura Hari, Patita Pavana Gaura Hari. Gaura Hari, Patita Pavana, Patita Pavana Gaura Hari, Patita Pavana Gaura Hari. Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari, Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Everybody. अयोध्यावासी राम दशरथ नंदन राम जानकी जीवन राम जय राम राम रामा अयोध्यावासी राम दशरथ नंदन राम जानकी जीवन राम जय राम राम रामा अयोध्यावासी राम अयोध्यावासी राम दशरथ नंदन राम जानकी जीवन राम जय राम राम रामा अयोध्यावासी राम दशरथ नंदन अयोध्यावासी राम दशरथ नंदन राम जानकी जीवन राम जय राम राम रामा अयोध्यावासी राम दशरथ नंदन राम जय राम राम रामा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे एवरीबॉडी हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा रधनत राधा रधनत राधे जय राधा रधनत राधा रधनत राधे जय राधे राधे जय राधे राधे जय श्री राधे जय श्री राधे जय राधा रधनत राधा रधनत राधे जय गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद पाद everybody प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद पाद प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल
Hey, let me see. Are you going? Hey, we'll keep your harmonium safe, man. 5 minutes, give 5 minutes. Yeah, mama. Daddy is in hospital. She had a stroke on Saturday. So I'm lying there. Yes. She's alright now. She's recovered well. Yeah. She's okay. Yeah. One of these